All right, so I'm gonna do another Scrimba challenge. And what we want to do is add the error element to the Vans route. And basically the reason why we want to do this is because we want to go ahead and give an error in case something goes wrong. What the heck? That's weird. Okay, we want to give an error in case something goes wrong. So right now, let's throw an error and let's just see what will happen. So if we say throw new error and say there was an error and we click run, we get an unexpected application error. There was an error. And what we get here is a message saying, hey, developer, you can provide a better UX in this when your app shows errors by providing your own error boundary or error element prop on your route. So we're going to go ahead and do this. So we can delete this. Our code will work. And if we go up here, we can go to our route, which is the shop, and we can add an error element, and we can equal this to an H1, and we can say there was an error. So now the error element has been added to the route of path. So if there's a problem in our loader function, then we will get this H1 message instead. So let's go to our shop and let's just bring back that error code. And we get there was an error instead. So that's still not the best user experience, but I also want to show that we can get the error even if something in our loader function, even if our loader function is working and something breaks inside of the component, we will see that it'll still give us the message. So if we do that and we throw error, we still get there was an error. So that is really good. And I think that's what he was asking for. He says import and use the new error component as the error element. This time, instead of just putting it in a H1 directly, you should make a new error.jsx component in the components folder. We'll learn something new about this soon. For now, okay. So I guess we can do this part too. So right now I'm just making something called just an H1. It says there's an error, but I guess we could make this better. So inside of our pages directory, we can say error.jsx, and we can go ahead and import React from React. And we're going to say export function error. And then we can say export default error. We can just do that. And then we can return. And then I'm going to use error container. And I need to import styled. I think I can just do this from the top instead of having to write it out. We're going to need all of these right here. So import that. And now we can say const error container. And then we're going to equal that to a styled div. And we're going to say the display is flex, justify content center, align items center. We're going to say the min height is going to be 68 VH. Then we're going to say the H1 font size, let's just say 2 rem. And what we can do here is say H1, say there was an error. So now when we refresh, nothing's going to happen. Let's go ahead and import that. So we can go up here and we can say error, and it'll grab it directly from our JSX, or at least it should have. Let's see. Okay, what we're getting here is an error because my import device is a different route. But now if we go to our shop, and let's go ahead and break this real quick, just so that we can see what will happen. New error. and then we'd say broken. Hold on. I don't think this is how I did it before. Okay, throw new error. So now when we throw a new error, we get, whoa, that is weird. Okay, hold on. That is very weird. We're getting like a duplicate. I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen. That's very weird. Our route. Yeah, that is insanely weird. I am not sure if that's supposed to happen. Does that happen with my shop? Whoa, that's weird. I am not sure why that's happening. Let me comment this out and see what happens there. Okay. And then uncomment this. And let's reload the page. Yeah, that's not happening there. When we go into shop. Okay, I don't know what just happened there, but that was one of the weirdest things I've seen. So something else I can do. Font family. And let's just say Poppins sans serif. Okay. And of course, I just have somewhat of OCD about this, but yep, it's working. Let's just add some padding. 1 EM. That looks terrible. I'm just going to take it off. It doesn't really matter. But anyways, we see there was an error. That's the challenge, and we're going to basically move on to the second part. All right. So now what I want to go ahead and do is I want to use that error message. So we're going to go to our shop real quick. If it's going to let me. Okay, this is cursed. I don't know what happened with that route. Let's reopen here. Let's just then don't know why I'm capsed. So let's try to go ahead and go back to Nausea. Let's go ahead and I don't know why this is so laggy. What is going on with this? So inside of our shop, let's go ahead and throw a new error. And instead of saying there was an error, what we want to go ahead is use that error element and import something called, let me grab it from over here. So we want to import use route error from React router DOM. And then we can just put it in a variable basically. So if we go down here, we can say const error equals use route error. And if we console.log the error that we're getting, and let's go here as well. Wow, okay, I am lagging really bad. And so is the site, I guess. It just completely froze. I've never had that happen before. That's really weird. I don't know if my computer needs to just restart itself or what. So we're gonna close this. And I'm going to, don't know why it doesn't, okay, localhost right here. So Nausea, that loaded up. There was an error. Let's go ahead and inspect, log. And so React router caught an error. I'm trying to see if I can console.log what I get from the error, but it doesn't seem to be coming up. So anyways, what we're basically getting is this object right here. So we should have error.message as something we can use. So if we go over here, we should be able to say error.message. And if we refresh, should be able to use this. Okay, uncaught error, there was an error. Let me see. What if I say try again? So try again seems to be working. and then nothing seems to be working. So let's just say error. Error dot, and it should be the errors from here. So let me try this again. There was an error. Okay, let me see. It should say fail to fetch products. So let me see what's going on here. That's really weird behavior. So let me go ahead and console.log error real quick. And then error, and there was an error. So basically what I wanted to happen here, I guess it's displaying this error over here. So there was an error. So I don't want it to display that though. But basically we're throwing the new error, and then this hook that we're using called use route, or maybe that's what's going on. No, use route error is supposed to be able to catch that error and then let us use a message. So, and that message is supposed to be coming from our API, but for some reason it's just giving us this. Okay, let me see if I try to take the status of the error and console log it. We get undefined. So I'm going to pause real quick and try to find a solution. All right, so I found the solution to my error while trying to throw an error. The problem was I had this error thing over here. So it was just creating an infinite loop where it was just looping over it thousands and thousands of times. So now that I don't even let the data to even try to get through, we don't get that infinite loop. And this is exactly what I was trying to illustrate. When we go ahead and we throw just an error, we get there was an error at loader, and for some reason it's not showing me my object, but it's the same exact object that I have in here, that if the response is not a 200 or 300 level response, we'll throw this error object, and everything in this error object we can now go ahead and reference. So one thing we can do here is we can go to our error, and let's just say error dot message, and we see we get there was an error. So if we go here and we go ahead and close this and we throw error dot message, we should be getting it. Let me see what's going on here. So let me say h1, and I don't know why that was not working. That's weird. So now this isn't even working either. Let's see. So there was an error. We're still not getting the correct message, even though, because we're console.logging a different message. Okay. I'm